Good morning, traders. Welcome to StockCast. My name is Todd Derby, along with business partner and James, with business partner and co-host. Good morning, James. Sorry about that. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Todd. How are you this morning?
We prove often that we're human, and we're not
Yes.
overly scripted.
Yes, that was only the second mistake that we've ever made in our lives.
Well, and you didn't even make it. It was me. So,
oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So
we're now both 1 for 1, and we both y'all just witnessed Todd's first mistake. So, all right, everybody. Man, Todd, what do we got for today?
we have nothing. No, we do. We have a couple things. I think right now the market is in a pause and a freeze, and they're waiting for tomorrow's catalyst at 1:30 p.m. And that catalyst, we don't know if it's going to be a bull catalyst or a bear catalyst.
Yeah, and that is Fed rate increases.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So, currently Dow futures are up 145 points. S&P 500 is up 23.5 points. So, I don't know. Todd, we were just talking about this. Okay. So here are my thoughts on the SPY for today. You guys hopefully remember yesterday I was talking about the SPY S&P 500. I'm waiting for it to break below 415 for my entry. Now, early pre-market it did, but I'm not trying to buy SPY shares. I'm buying put contracts. So I didn't even have a chance to even get in to that. And honestly, probably wouldn't anyways. I just have a feeling, and this is just how Wall Street works, how the Fed works. When the obvious is there, they usually do the opposite. And that is everybody's expecting the market to just get trashed. And logically, it would make sense that the day before the market would, be pretty red. And then the following day, it just gets hammered. But I would not be surprised if today does, just for whatever weird reason, unless if, something pops up with Russia and the Ukraine situation, or whatever other macro event. I wouldn't be surprised today if we didn't see a green day in the market, and then tomorrow, like, who knows? Like, Todd, what's the estimated ranges? I mean, it's pretty much all over the place.
Yeah, it's been all over the place, but I think the consensus is, and this is again opinions and just reading different other people who get paid money to have opinions on this stuff, that we're between 25 to 100 basis points, which is a quarter to a full interest point. I think if we're between anything less than 50 basis points, I think the market's already baked that in.
Yeah,
that's my opinion. And if it's over 50, there could be a reaction to that. But you also have to, this isn't a singular event. Because of the war going on and what's being talked about and COVID quietly resurging in China and other places, the Fed interest rate is not a singular event that's going to impact the market. It's really a recipe or a formula that's going to come together. So I think you just got to be prepared for the worst, and be able to react to it. You mentioned in our pregame talk that you don't have to catch the full move. You can catch half the move and still be successful. Like, you don't, but if you try to go in, think of the last 2-3 Fed meetings, that how many of our members, including yourself, have been heavy on puts and get absolutely smoked.
There was, at the very end of January, there were 2 days between 2 days at the end of January, when literally the obvious was, this is a bearish macro event. I should be short in the SPY right now. One day I took 3,600 puts in SPY. I mean, when I say I was deep, man, I was deep. And in old Jerome Powell came in and decided to do a V-shaped recovery on my ass and got smoked. Between those 2 days, I mean, it was a 6-figure hit. I mean, it was oof, it was brutal.
Giordano's asking a question in our comments right here, and the question is, do you think if they raise it more than 25 cents, they'll tank the market? No, I don't think they're gonna. I think the last thing they want to do is tank the market. I think they're okay bringing it down, but I don't think they want to tank the market.
Yeah, especially if, like we're just saying, with all these macro events, if they let it tank now and then a major macro event happens, shit, we will literally erase our financial history. I mean, we'll end up being like this old country called Russia. What, Todd? I'm rewriting history books right now. I mean, I know it's only been 3 weeks since the war started, but I'm just going to go ahead and start rewriting all the history books and talk about Russia in the past tense.
I can't remember that I shared it before, but it's talked about how no matter what the Feds have done, the best option was to buy calls.
Yeah. Now we're not saying buy calls, but we're just saying like,
yeah, that was not financial advice. I'm just repeating what's happened historically. So me personally, I'm not going to have any spies or spy trades going with puts or calls. I'll be watching it. I watch my 401k, I watch my retirement money, and I see what's going on there. But I just there's nothing. I'm not changing anything what I'm doing in there, and I'm not sitting on a bucket of cash that I can instantly dump into the market tomorrow if the market was to take a 20 point, 30 point drop. I'm just going to trust that the market's always bounce back and come back, but I'm going to day trade my day trading bucket and keep earning my livelihood.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty much all we can do. I mean, we're at the mercy of the market. We're at the mercy of the market, which is the Fed. And the market is just going to do what the Fed wants it to do. And we have seen that they literally have no limit. As much as what they say, they have no limit. Because if that were true, I mean, hell, technically, Jerome Powell started to taper in December. And here we still are. So there's not been much tapering going on when he's been still dropping 60 to 80 billion dollars into the market to buy it up, to hold it up. So yeah, nothing we can do, guys. And we have to see it happen first and then catch the play. For me personally, I mean, I'm getting kind of antsy because I really haven't been trading heavy lately. Like, I've been real light. I mean, I took the trade yesterday in MULN, and we'll talk about that here in a moment. But I've been pretty light with my trades, mostly because I'm trying not to get smoked. Like, there's been, just this year alone, there have been so many confirmed breakdowns in the S&P 500. I mean, like historical breakdowns on certain thresholds, and I'll take those entries with puts, and within minutes the Fed comes in, and you'll see the most bullish damn trades ever. It's unreal. So I am getting kind of antsy. I might just gamble today, buy some short-term expirations. Kind of, just go ahead and get a plan, burn off about $500. You know what I'm saying? Like going to a casino. Like,
there you go.
You go to the casino knowing you ain't coming out of that place rich. And the only other reality is you're coming out with less money. So yeah, I think I just have to get that one out of my system, to be honest, so I don't do anything radical. And that's probably, one of the worst things I could say as somebody who runs a company with algorithms and trading and shit. But hey, you know what? Oh well. But yeah, other than that, Todd, let's talk about MULN. Let me pull that up on my chart.
Yeah, this is a farce. I'm calling that's my call on it. The state to have a report or 1.8 million for the float is not accurate.
No,
This
not at all.
traded over $500 million. So it was like 523 million shares yesterday, and it stayed between $1.50 and $2. So
Yep.
I don't know what the hell's going on. I just know that this is a scam on some level that I'm going to avoid.
Yeah. So actually, I pushed this one out yesterday as an alert at like before like 5:30 a.m. and I was watching it, and here it is on the 5-minute chart. So I was watching it, and my breakout point was $1.80. That was my trigger point. And I only had 1,000 shares in the end of this, just because I was expecting a short squeeze. There, the float was only the reported float with all the data providers was 1.8 million shares, and that's nothing. I mean, especially when all the volume that was coming in on this thing was what it ended up being in the end. But I was just going to take 1,000 shares, and that is what I took. And I expect it to be like a short squeeze, and I was going to make a few grand in my mind. I mean, I made dollars in the end, just because like when it pushed up right here, after it pushed up, I moved my stop up to $1.80, so my entry price, so I wouldn't lose. And then it pushed up a little bit more, and then I moved my stop up to $1.85, and eventually came down, and I broke even, which I'm okay with that. Like, I was given a chance to run, and I don't know, and it didn't. So no harm, no foul. But when I started seeing this setup on the 5-minute chart for something that had 1.8 million shares for its float, and for you guys who've been around long enough, like, how I feel about floats, like they're BS. Sometimes I have to report information and put in the float just because it might be relevant for whatever I'm trying to point out here. But the majority of the time, I don't do that. I can't say I don't, but I usually don't make decisions based off of the float. But yesterday I did, and I didn't lose, but yesterday I did, because really the float was a key factor in this equation that I came up with. So I was actually expecting this to be a short squeeze yesterday. And when this thing started pushing up and catching a lot of resistance right here, which was bizarre for something to have only 1.8 million shares of a float left, and in a very low share structure anyways. But with all the volume that was already coming into play, I mean, hell, we have 5-minute candles here. This 5-minute candle right here alone, 28.14 million shares. Now, just going off this first 5-minute candle and disregard everything else, you cannot tell me out of those 28 million shares that there were not at least retail traders in there who just said, you know what? I like this stock at this price. I'm going to keep it in my portfolio. And you can't tell me that collectively there wasn't at least a total of 1.8 million shares that were held. Virtually impossible, especially with as much hype as this thing is started to get before this push yesterday. So things were looking very weird here. I broke even, and I didn't even mess around with it anymore after that. But it just goes back to a lot of the stuff that I've been saying about like data. Like, they're feeding us stuff that ain't true. And that's all there's to it.
It's kind of like when you go out with the boys and you come home and your wife says, "Hey, what'd you guys do?" You tell your wife what you want her to hear. And you don't tell her all the comments that all the boys said, because they would be like, well, he's a jerk. So,
Yeah, you always say, hey, whatever your wife's name is, such and such, said hello.
we filter it like the feds filter us, and we deliver the message because it's just easier to be like, yeah, didn't do much, didn't talk about
Mhm.
much.
And you know what else is for sure right now? Todd's wife is not around at this moment. And she doesn't watch the show. But anyways, so yeah, MULN. I mean, it is getting some attention right here, but something weird is going on here, guys. Something weird is going on, and I don't like to trade stuff that has weird stuff happening like this. It just doesn't make me. I can't feel comfortable in that trade when I can see something is going on that is, based off of the data that they're supposed to report, something's taking place that is not, that's going against everything that's being reported. So MULN, I'm only going to watch it in the future just to really just see what happens with it. Like, I'm not going to trade it, but like, I don't think it's the company selling shares. It would not make sense at all for the company to sell shares right here at the damn bottom. So that I'm not really worried about, but something else is taking place, and I don't know. I mean, none of us know. So this will be interesting. So that is MULN.
We're about 10 minutes to the start of the market.
All right. So let's talk about what's that pre-market pre-market runner. Yeah, HYMC. All right. So everybody, this is stupid. Everybody's getting all excited over HYMC because AMC bought a 22% stake of the company. That'd be like, in my opinion, that'd be like two people who are horrible with money, completely horrible with money, don't have a damn clue about business, coming together and saying, you know what, we have a genius idea. Let us invest into you and we'll turn this around. And then the other one's like, you know what? That's a pretty good idea.
That's a good idea.
AMC needs to. I mean, I know what people are going to say, to what I was about to say. What I was about to say is AMC needs to get their house in order, square away their company, and actually create something that can help them survive. Because as of right now, brick and mortar movie theaters, man, that's a dinosaur. It ain't going to happen.
Well, it sounds like they're going into the day trading business. If they're buying ticker HYMC, they're going in the day trading business.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to invest in AMC because they probably know more than me, right?
Well, with insider trading, because they can get all these people seem to be able to get away with it, but it is what it is. But HYMC, me personally, I can't get behind it. I mean, if anybody's long there, I hope you guys are crushing it, and I hope this keeps going up for y'all. I'm not against it, but I just think it's silly that the whole big push on it is really, honestly, it's retail trader FOMO. The institutions are already into this crap, and with them being already into it, they're just waiting to unload on retail. So AMC, like I was saying, like AMC needs to. Jesus Christ. All right, AMC needs to they just they need a better business model. Like the brick and mortar theaters it's not going to survive. Impossible. I mean, there might even be 5-10 years left. I don't know. It don't matter. But long term, it's not going to survive. That's pretty obvious. But what can AMC do to give themselves some hope? And I know people would say, well, whatever they're going to do here with buying 22% of this company is a part of it. And while that may be true, because obviously they're not going to be buying a company or a percentage of a company for shits and giggles. Hopefully not, at least. I just don't see them really doing anything. But going back to what I was saying, it's like having two people who are horrible with money coming together, trying to say, hey, we're going to create X, Y, Z, and the market should love this. I can't get behind that. So that's just my opinion on HYMC. Hopefully for the people who are in it, hopefully I'm wrong, and you guys just rock out. Looking at it from a technical analysis perspective, I mean, we are breaking this high right here, but we're screaming on that RSI. So we're somewhere in the range that the bears are going to start coming in and probably shorten this damn thing down. I mean, if this thing does really push up a lot more, we will see stiff resistance around this 345-ish range, somewhere in there. I mean, that's going to be like stiff resistance. I mean, we can see it right here on the chart. So if this thing, again, does push up there, me personally, if I was in this thing, that's where I would sell at. And honestly, probably not even wait that long. So
they just announced this morning they have a 500 million shelf offering. So at the market. So I expect them to start processing that, and there may be enough in volume to gobble that up, but if not, that's going to tank the price.
Now, we'll say though, I do like those offerings that come in the dollar amount, not the share amount, the dollar amounts. The ones with the dollar amounts, those usually tend to be pretty daggone good runners. So, man, $500 million, man, that's still a lot of shares to sell.
Yeah.
That's what kind of makes it tough. Now, if it was like 50 million, I might be FOMO in this thing, to be honest with y'all. But yeah, $500 million worth of shares to sell, that's a lot. Now, they ain't gonna just dump all that at once.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're not gonna do it all at once. They could do it. I mean, they could do enough right now to raise money for 3-4 months and then cycle back.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I see for HYMC. Let's take a quick run through the comments.
Yeah, we're about 4 minutes away.
Let's see.
If you guys wouldn't mind hitting that like button on your way out today, that'd be appreciated.
Okay, so hold on. I'm just going to take a quick look at this one. What's going on with IXHL?
It's traded 87,000 shares.
Nothing going on with it.
It's up 200%. I don't know why, but there's not enough volume there to get me excited.
No. Can't even chart this out. Yeah, so that's what's going on with it. So, Todd, that is all I have for today. Do you have anything else?
No, be safe, be smart. Tomorrow's the Fed interest rate. Just be careful, smart with your money.
All right, guys. So you heard it from Todd yourself. And with that, we appreciate y'all tuning in today, and we will catch y'all in the next one.